let's walk through Blackjack Grove. This is in the key of A. So I am in the standard G tuning, and I'm capoed up at the 2nd fret. There's some cool syncopation that I put into my version of this tune. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to start with a very sort of standard version that you can play even if you're not ready to do this fancy syncopation stuff. So what I will walk you through first is this. Or something pretty close. Okay, so we're starting with this double note, double thumb. And I'm actually choking a little bit, which means I'm bringing my finger off the string just enough to let the string stop ringing out so that those 2 downstrokes sound like very distinct notes. If I leave my finger on there, it kind of blurs as one note, but I'm going to bring it off. And then I do a little drop thumb. Hammer on at the 1st fret on the 2nd string. And you see I pulled off there on the 3rd fret. Go up to the 5th fret. And then I do a hammer on. Hammer on, drop, thumb, drop, slide. And I've done that before, but I'll do that a little slower. So I do the first half of a drop thumb. And then my finger starts on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. So let me play that A part again for you, nice and slow. Okay, here comes the B part. So 3rd string, starting on the 2nd fret, slide, slide, and then a pull off back to the 2nd fret. So slide to the 4th. It's all there with those hammer-ons and pull-offs on that 2nd fret note. And then that B part ends with the same phrase that the A part ended with. So, basic version one more time. I'll play 1A and 1B. Now, the syncopated lick that I was doing in the recording is mostly patterned after the playing of Adam Hurt, who has what I feel like is just a super iconic version of this tune on his album Earth Tones, which is a solo album of gourd banjo music, and Adam Hurton's an incredible player, so it's really worth listening to. But he uses this lick. Oops. So let me do that one more time. And let me get my right hand in the picture. So it's So it's strike, thumb, strike, pull off. Now, if you listen to Adam's recording, he's definitely doing lots of other cool syncopated bits. I haven't really worked out all of those, and I probably couldn't do all of them even if I tried, but I thought I'd leave it with this one simple bit of syncopation to really bring something out of the tune, but you can slot it in a pretty organized way. Okay, here comes the B part and a little bit of additional stuff for the B part. Now, when I went back and I listened to one of the recordings on Slippery Hill, which is a great resource, slipperyhill.com. Oh shoot, and I forgot the player's name. I think this is the main source recording for Blackjack Grove. But when I listened to his recording, there was a little more of the darkness of that like 7 chord in his playing in this B part. Adam Hurt's playing takes that darkness out just a little bit while still being true to the tune. But so anyway, what I've got in here is this. There's ever so slightly tricky because here's what I'm doing. Same kind of slide stuff. That's the same as the other part. So I'm doing hammer on the 2nd fret. And then I'm playing on the 3rd string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And then I'm playing the open 3rd string. And then I'm hammering on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, which in my mind, it's a little bit tricky to hit a string and then hammer on a different string. But that might be an easy thing for you, but I'm just letting you know that that could be a little bit tricky and you might want to practice it a few times. And then the other thing that I like to do in that, the second part of that, the second phrase of that part, is just that little drop thumb pattern. Drop thumb, pull off, thumb diddy. All right, so let me go ahead and play through that part a little bit more, and then I'll do one last thing where I talk a little bit about my choices for how I decided how to do each of the parts. So I'm going to go through once simple version and once syncopated version, and then we'll talk about my choices in this tune. flubbed that a little bit. I put some different variations in there than I just explained, but hopefully you get the idea. Now, one thing that, as I was going through Adam Hurt's version, he essentially, although with lots of subtlety and, and grace, does the same thing 4 times through at the beginning of each phrase on the A part. So he does that little lick at the beginning of all 4 portions of that A part. I decided, just for my playing, that I wanted to do something slightly different at the end, the 4th section of that A part, so that's why I did that hammer-on piece. Now, if you like that lick, or if you want to use one time through the A part, do all 4 phrases with that lick, and then the next time through maybe you do 3 phrases with that lick, and then the last one with the hammer on, then you can do that. You can mix up your own version with whatever of those little variations that you like the most. So let me just play through a closer version of what it sounded like Adam Hurt was playing. And then what I did on my version. Both of those choices structurally support the song, the tune, the melody. So either of them works fine. And either of them will probably match even if you're playing with a fiddle player. Although you definitely want to listen to figure out if you're matching well. But that's one of the things that I love about learning this type of music. And one of the things that banjo does really well is that you can support a melody in different ways. So you can make your own choices about which sorts of variations you are going to build around the skeleton of a melody. So that's one that I did. Another thing that I did is at the end, when I finished the B part, Adam Hurt's version finishes the B part with that same lick. And I decided not to finish that with the B part until the very end. So most of my B parts I finished like this. But the very last one, I just wanted to reflect that cool lick at the very end. So that was just an arrangement choice that I decided to do when I was putting these together. And so yeah. So hopefully that little explanation of how I made my choices is cool. And if you want to dig into that anymore, just hit me up with some questions. Let me know more about what you heard or why I made certain decisions that I did. I'd be happy to try to explain them as best as I can. All right, well, enjoy that tune. It's one that I really like a lot, and I hope you enjoy playing it.